The Labour government are coming for more of your money, and this latest reveal is just another shocking bit of news we are in for. Yes, Reeves could be after your saving as the next tax raid looms in October. Let's dive into the details, whilst going over all of the latest news from up and down the country. But first, hit the like and subscribe button and join our fast-growing community. Analysts are sounding the alarm over a potential pending tax raid from Labour on Britain's savings ahead of the autumn budget next month. Keir Starmer has warned of a painful budget on October 30th, with Chancellor Rachel Reeves reiterating tough decisions are to be made to plug the £22 billion black hole in the public finances. The Prime Minister has asserted that those with the broadest shoulders should bear the heavier burden, with investors preparing for tax hikes and the axing of tax relief. Accountants from BDO are warning ISAs could be in line for the reform after recent figures found the tax-free savings product was costing the Treasury £5 billion annually in relief. Elsa Littlewood, a tax partner at the firm, explained, "Cutting this cost by reining in ISA benefits for wealthy investors might be seen as an easy way to help balance the books. It's not impossible that the Chancellor could seek to impose a lifetime cap on ISA saving, perhaps set at around £500,000. If this were to happen, we would hope that the limit would be indexed to rise in line with inflation. We could also see a reduction in the annual allowance available for cash ISAs, but an increase in the annual allowance for stocks and shares ISAs in an effort to support economic growth. Savers are able to deposit up to £20,000 in an ISA, or separate this allowance across multiple accounts, with the tax running from April 6th to April 5th the following year. There are multiple types of ISAs, including cash, stocks and shares, and lifetime, but savers can only place £4,000 a year into the latter account. The previous Conservative government's decision to freeze tax thresholds, which has pulled Britons into higher brackets, has resulted in more people turning to ISAs to protect their hard-earned cash. Based on the latest HM Revenue and Customs, HMRC Zero data, the number of cash ISAs that people paid into during 2022-23 rose by 11% compared to the previous year. Some 7.9 million cash ISAs were adopted over the period, compared to 7.1 million accounts during the 2021-22 tax year. In comparison, the number of stocks and shares ISAs subscribed to slipped slightly from 3.9 million to 3.8 million between the years. Despite the Bank of England slashing the base rate from a 16-year high to 5% over the summer, the central bank avoided another cut earlier this week in a win for savers. Savings accounts and ISAs from high street banks and building societies continue to be attached to competitive interest rates. However, analysts are pricing in another base rate reduction from the bank by the end of the year, which could result in lesser returns from ISAs down the line. Compounded with a potential tax raid on ISAs, savers are likely to have less competitive options available to them this time next year. Ed Monk, an associate director at Fidelity International, explained, "It may have made sense to up your cash savings while returns have been strong, but now is a good time to reassess your balance of cash and investments." HMRC's data highlights the significant bias that UK savers show towards cash rather than investments, with 7.9 million savers holding a cash ISA compared to just 3.8 million having a stocks and shares ISA. With inflation proving stubborn, but rates on cash now falling, cash savers face lower real returns on their money in the coming years. The new Labour government's decision to means test the winter fuel payment could be scrapped thanks to £10 billion windfall awarded to Chancellor Rachel Reeves. Labour MPs are urging Reeves and Prime Minister Keir Starmer to halt their decision to link the energy bill benefit, which offers up to £300 in support, to pension credit from the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP. The Chancellor has been given more headroom following the Bank of England's decision to slow the pace of its quantitative easing. As a result of this decision, the losses from bond sales to the Treasury have been reduced, with an extra £10 billion now being available to spend. Rachel Maskell, the Labour MP for York Central, has called on Reeves to pause what is effectively a cut to the winter fuel payment. Some 10 million pensioners are expected to lose access to the benefit, either due to not being eligible for means-tested support or not applying for pension credit. According to Maskell, revenue generated by means testing the allowance is only a tiny proportion of the windfall that has been handed to the Chancellor. Labour's MP for York Central believes the government must absolutely review its decision-making following the recent action from the Bank of England. Maskell told The Times, "It's a responsible decision if they have got additional funding. I think there are many demands, but this is most urgent to keep people safe this winter. We've got to do everything we can to keep people warm. I would welcome the government delaying so they can properly review this decision and put mitigations in place to keep people safe." Despite this, a Treasury source told the Treasury, "The Chancellor has said there will be difficult decisions across tax, welfare and spending at the budget. Nothing announced today changes that." Pensioners are not the only demographic who are likely to be impacted by Reeves's autumn budget on October 30th, with rumours of reform to capital gains tax, inheritance tax and pension tax relief. Furthermore, reports suggest the Chancellor is floating axing the single-person discount on council tax, which is worth 25%. One senior Labour MP sounded the alarm that further cuts to public services and social security will not go down well with the public in the wake of this £10 billion windfall. The anonymous source said, "It's going to go down extremely badly, not just with Labour colleagues who struggled with these cuts to winter fuel payments, but with our constituents. This is not what a Labour government was elected for." The Treasury told The Times, "Decisions regarding quantitative easing and tightening are rightly for the Independent Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee. The overall gains or losses from the asset purchase facility are highly uncertain and predominantly determined by interest rates and gilt prices. The Office for Budget Responsibility will make a full assessment at the October budget." Lastly, Princess Beatrice has been depicted in a new royal series, requesting Prince Andrew move away while her wedding photos were being taken. When Beatrice married Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi in July 2020, the official wedding pictures only showed the newlyweds, Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. The bride's parents, the Duke and Duchess of York, were not included in the official wedding pictures. This was because the royal wedding occurred just 8 months after Prince Andrew's career-ending Newsnight interview, where he discussed his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. A new series titled A Very Royal Scandal, which dropped on Amazon Prime today, dramatized the lead-up to the interview and its aftermath. In one scene, Princess Beatrice could be seen posing for pictures with her groom, Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi, outside the All Saints' Chapel in Windsor. Her parents, played by Michael Sheen and Claire Rushbrook, stood beside Beatrice and Edoardo at first, however. The bride then proceeded to tell her father to step away. Beatrice, played by Honor Swinton-Byrne, said, "Daddy, would you mind stepping aside just for this next? We're going to take an official picture with Granny and Grandpa. Is that all right?" Andrew fumbled over his words, then responded, No. Absolutely. To which Beatrice replied, "Great." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.